It wraps around your throat like a velvet noose. Soft, comforting, but tightening with every breath. You think it's saving you, don't you? That feeling, that rush, the warmth that wraps itself around your mind and tells you everything's going to be fine. But it's a lie, a beautifully crafted lie. Love blinds, love deceives, love weakens. It makes you forget who you are, makes you forget what you're capable of, makes you believe that this feeling is somehow greater than the fire inside you, that it can replace the hunger, the need for control, for power. But look where it's gotten you, lost, tangled in the web of your own emotions, bound to something that was never meant to last. You used to be sharp, focused, every step calculated, every move deliberate. But love dulled you. It twisted your priorities, made you believe that softness, vulnerability, was something to be embraced. That's what love does. It takes the sharpest blade and bends it, softens it, until it can no longer cut. And you let it happen. You traded your edge for a fleeting feeling, for the promise of something that was always a mirage. Now, you're wandering blind in a world that doesn't care about your emotions, that will tear you apart the moment it senses weakness. Love makes you forget. It makes you forget the danger, makes you forget the world outside your little bubble of affection. It narrows your vision until the only thing you can see is them, the one you've handed all your power to. And that's the cruelest joke of all. You think you're safe in love, but you're never more vulnerable. You've let someone inside, handed them the keys to your mind, your heart, your strength, and now you're left open, exposed. The world sees it, feels it, and it will take advantage of it. Love is the chink in your armor. It's the crack that grows, the flaw that spreads until it breaks you. It's almost poetic, really. How love can make even the strongest person weak. You were untouchable before, weren't you? A force of nature, moving through the world without hesitation, without second-guessing yourself. But now your mind is clouded with thoughts of someone else, with feelings. And feelings, they are dangerous. They make you hesitate. They make you care. And in this game, caring is fatal. Every moment spent worrying, every second wasted thinking about someone else's well-being, that's time you've given away. Time you can never get back. You can feel it, can't you? That pull, that tension in your chest. Love has chained you to someone else's fate, and now you're no longer your own. You move, but your steps are heavy. You think, but your thoughts are slow, distracted. Love has stolen your clarity, your focus, and replaced it with a fog. And in that fog, anything can happen. You're no longer in control. You're no longer the master of your own game. Love has blinded you, made you think that you need something outside yourself to feel complete, to feel powerful. But here's the reality. Love is fragile. It can break, shatter into 1,000 pieces with a single blow. And when it does, you'll be left standing there, broken with it, weak, exposed, and you'll realize far too late that you gave up everything for a feeling that was never as strong as you thought, that you traded your edge for something that never really belonged to you. Because love doesn't last. Not in this world. It fades, it withers, and when it's gone, all that remains is the emptiness, the void where your power used to be. But maybe that's the lesson. Maybe this is what you needed to see, that love isn't a strength, it's a weakness. And the sooner you strip it away, the sooner you cast it aside, the sooner you'll remember who you are, what you are. You are more than love, more than emotions. You are a force, a storm. And storms don't fall in love. Storms consume. Storms destroy everything in their path and leave nothing standing. That's who you were before love blinded you. And that's who you can be again, once you let it go. Because love has blinded you, but now it's time to see again, to tear off the blindfold, to cut the chains, and take back what's yours. The world is waiting for you to wake up. It's waiting for you to stop dreaming and start rising. Love made you weak. Now it's time to remember your strength. You find peace not by rearranging the circumstances of your life, but by realizing who you are at the deepest level. That's the thing no one tells you. People spend their lives shifting the pieces on the board, changing their surroundings, thinking peace is something that can be constructed with the right combination of external factors. New job, new relationship, new scenery. But peace? It doesn't come from the outside. It comes from understanding the monster inside, from embracing the chaos within and making it your ally. You can tear down your world 1,000 times, change every aspect of your existence. But until you know who you are, what you are, peace will always slip through your fingers like smoke. The world wants you to believe that peace is something gentle, something soft. They paint it as a serene image, a quiet mind in a quiet place. But real peace is the kind that comes when you stop running from yourself, when you stop fearing what's inside, when you look into the void of your own soul and embrace it. It's not about tranquility, it's about ownership, about standing in the middle of the storm and knowing that you are the eye of it, that no matter what rages around you, no matter what falls apart, you remain unshaken, unbreakable. To find that level of peace, you must strip away everything, the distractions, the false comforts, the lies you've built around yourself to feel safe. You have to face the darkest corners of your mind, the places you've hidden from, the parts of yourself you've been afraid to confront. Because peace doesn't come from avoiding the darkness. It comes from owning it, from standing face to face with your demons and realizing they were always a part of you. They were never the enemy. The enemy was your denial, your refusal to accept who you really are. People rearrange their lives endlessly, chasing peace like it's something they can buy or build. But peace isn't found in the perfect life, the perfect partner, the perfect job. It's found in the moment. You stop needing any of it. When you understand that the circumstances of your life don't define you, don't control you. The world outside is chaos, always shifting, always crumbling. But the world inside, your world, that's where the real battle is fought. And when you win that battle, when you stop running from yourself, that's when the chaos outside no longer matters. Peace is found in knowing who you are at the deepest level, knowing your weaknesses, your darkness, and loving it. Because once you accept everything about yourself, everything, no one else's opinion, no one else's presence can shake you. Peace isn't quiet. Peace is power. It's the power to walk through the fire of your own life and come out on the other side, untouched. It's the power to exist without needing validation, without needing anyone or anything to make you feel complete. You don't need to rearrange your life to find peace. You need to look inside and remember the creature you were before the world taught you to fear yourself. You need to dig down, past the layers of expectations, past the masks you wear for others, and find the raw, untamed version of yourself that was never meant to be controlled. That's where peace lies, in the knowledge that no matter what falls apart, no matter who leaves or who stays, you are enough. You are complete. And that's where the blindness of love comes into play. Love has blinded you. It made you forget who you were. But now, with that veil lifted, with that illusion shattered, you can finally see. You can finally remember the power that was always yours. Peace wasn't something love could give you. It was something you had to reclaim for yourself. And now that you see clearly, you understand, you were never incomplete. The reason why the romantic love relationship is such an intense and universally sought-after experience is that it seems to offer liberation from a deep-seated state of fear, need, lack, and incompleteness. Humans, in their unredeemed and unenlightened state, carry a void inside them, an aching sense of emptiness that gnaws at the edges of their soul. They feel it in every quiet moment, in every glance into the mirror, the unshakable feeling that something is missing, that something within them is broken, incomplete. And love promises to fill that void. It wraps itself around their wounds, whispers sweet illusions of wholeness, of fulfillment, as though it could heal what's never been whole in the first place. That's the trick, the bait that pulls people in. Love feels like the cure, the solution to that ancient, primal loneliness that sits at the core of the human experience. People seek it out, crave it, because in those first moments, in the rush of passion and connection, it does feel like liberation. It feels like freedom from the constant hum of fear and need, from the haunting sense that they are not enough on their own. Love becomes the drug, the escape from the dark, and for a brief moment, everything feels right. The world seems brighter, the void quieter. But here's where the illusion cracks. Love offers the promise of completion, but it never delivers it. It blinds people with its intensity, makes them believe that the fear, the emptiness, the lack can be erased by the presence of another. But the truth is, love doesn't heal. It distracts. It covers the wound, numbs the pain, but it never goes deep enough to fix what's broken. The fear, the need, the lack, it's all still there, lurking beneath the surface, waiting for the moment when the shine wears off, when the illusion fades, and all that's left is the same aching void that was always there. The romantic relationship becomes a chase, a desperate attempt to hold on to that fleeting feeling of completeness. People cling to their lovers, demand more, need more, because they are still haunted by the same sense of lack. They thought love would fill them, make them whole, but instead, it only highlights the depth of their need. The relationship turns from passion to dependence, from connection to possession, because the fear is still there, stronger now, because they've tasted what it feels like to believe, even for a moment, that the emptiness could be filled. But love isn't the answer. It never was. It's the most beautifully crafted illusion of the human condition, offering freedom from pain, but never delivering the true liberation people seek. The void can't be filled by another person, no matter how intense the connection, no matter how deep the love, because the emptiness, the lack, is something internal, something that can only be faced and conquered within. Love distracts from that truth, blinds people to the reality that their incompleteness is part of their nature, part of the journey they must face alone. And that's why the romantic love relationship, for all its beauty and allure, can be the most dangerous trap of all. It blinds people to the work they need to do within themselves, makes them believe that salvation lies in the hands of another. But salvation? Wholeness? Those things come from embracing the darkness within, from facing the fear head on, and realizing that no one else can complete you. No one else can fill the void. In the end, the liberation that love promises is nothing more than a shadow, a fleeting high. The real liberation comes when you stop chasing after someone else to fix you, when you stop looking outside for the solution to the pain inside. It comes when you stand in the center of the storm, face your demons, and take back the power you once handed over to love. Love has blinded you. But now, with your eyes open, you see the truth. The only person who can complete you is you. Whenever you interact with people, don't be there primarily as a function or a role, but as the field of conscious presence. This is where most fail. They enter every interaction already half empty, relying on their role, whether it's friend, lover, employee, leader, to define them. They think the mask they wear gives them power, gives them identity. But the role is fragile. It's temporary. When you show up as a role, as a function, you become disposable, replaceable. You are no longer a force to be reckoned with. You are a part in a machine, something that can be swapped out when it's no longer useful. But when you walk into a room as a presence, as a force, you change the game. You don't just play a role, you become the room. You control the energy. You dominate the space. Presence is not something that can be faked. It's not something that can be borrowed or crafted. It's who you are at your core, the essence that radiates from you when you stop hiding behind titles and labels. Most people are too afraid to exist like this. They rely on roles, on functions, because that's how they measure their worth. But roles are just a costume. When that role is stripped away, when that mask is torn off, what's left? What remains when everything you've defined yourself by falls apart? You, if you're strong enough to own it. You can only lose something that you have, but you cannot lose something that you are. This is the difference between those who merely exist and those who dominate. People who rely on what they have, status, relationships, power, are constantly at risk of losing it all. They cling to the things they possess because they believe those things define them. But those who understand what they are, they fear nothing. They understand that real power, real strength can never be taken away because it's not something external, it's something within. You cannot lose what you are because it's woven into your very existence. It's unshakable. It's untouchable. This is where true strength lies, not in what you have accumulated, not in the roles you play, but in the raw, unbreakable presence that radiates from within you. You enter a room and the energy shifts. People don't respond to your function. They respond to your being. They feel it. They may not understand it, but they know it's there. It's undeniable. When you interact with others from this place of presence, you are no longer at risk of being replaced, discarded, or devalued. You are no longer dependent on the fleeting validation that comes from external recognition. You exist on a higher plane, and everyone around you knows it, even if they can't put it into words. What a caterpillar calls the end of the world, we call a butterfly. People cling to their endings with desperation, don't they? Every time something falls apart, every time a door closes, they panic. They look at the ruins and think it's the end. Think the world has collapsed around them. But that's the trick, the illusion that keeps them small. What feels like destruction, what feels like the final chapter, is nothing more than transformation. The caterpillar crawling through its small world thinks it's over when the darkness comes, when the cocoon wraps tight around it and suffocates its old self. But the truth is, that's where the magic begins, in the dark, in the isolation, in the end. People are no different. They hold on to what they know, terrified of what comes after. But the ones who understand that endings are nothing more than the beginning of something greater, they are the ones who rise, the ones who break free from the smallness, from the cocoon of comfort and safety, and emerge as something unrecognizable to their former selves. That's the secret. What the caterpillar calls the end of the world, we know as rebirth. The thing that feels like death is simply the next stage, the transformation that was always meant to happen. People see endings and fall to pieces, but the wise know that the only way to evolve is to let the old self die. Let the old skin fall away. Let the shell crack open, because what emerges is something far more dangerous, far more powerful. The end is where your potential finally begins. It's where the limits fall away, and you become what you were always meant to be. Butterfly doesn't mourn the caterpillar. It flies, leaving behind the crawling thing that once feared the very transformation that set it free. It's in the darkness, in the solitude, where the real change happens. In the moments when you feel the weight of everything crashing down, that is when you begin to understand your strength. The caterpillar fears the unknown, fears what comes next, because it cannot imagine what it will become. But you have the advantage. You know that the end is never the end. The cocoon isn't a tomb. It's a forge, a place where the weak are burned away, and something new, something unstoppable, is born. People who fear the end will never reach their potential. They will cling to their caterpillar lives, desperate to avoid the transformation that scares them, the destruction that promises to take them beyond what they know. But those who embrace it, who crave the change, are the ones who transcend, the ones who understand that every ending is a new beginning, that the death of the old self is necessary for the birth of the new. And that's where love blinds people. Love makes you think you're still the caterpillar, that you need the old world, the familiar safety, the comfort of what you knew. Love tells you that the cocoon is the end, that losing the one who made you feel whole is the ultimate collapse. But love has blinded you to the reality that the end is just the beginning, that the transformation you feared is exactly what will set you free.